In the Passion narrative that we have in the Gospel of Matthew, we see that Jesus has just a few words. And all of them are designed to impress upon us the kind of spirit that we should have as we enter this most sacred week, for the Passion is an invitation for us to enter it. It is a time for us to quiet ourselves, to be silent, to look for ways in which we will allow the Lord to speak to our hearts, trusting that the Lord is with us in all of the sufferings that we have. But it's also important to realize that Jesus speaks through his actions. We see this in the second reading, in which Jesus pours out himself. He does not answer, he does not defend himself, but puts himself in the hands of those who torment him, trusting in God. And even at the end, recites that psalm, my God, why have you forsaken me?" to say that he empties himself totally before a God that he trusts in. That too must be the spirit that we have in our hearts as we come into this most sacred week, emptying of ourselves of every pretense, of any privilege that we feel as though is due to us, as though we deserve God's mercy, and yet realize at the same time that the Lord is rich in mercy and forgiveness. So let us enter this most sacred week, quieting ourselves, being silent before the Lord, taking time in a very pronounced way for prayer, but also to imitate Jesus by emptying ourselves so that we place the Lord first in our lives, at the center of our lives, and in that way know the full experience of receiving the new life that God has always intended for us, in which he will raise us up and let us know that we have never been forsaken. We have never been forgotten. We have never been abandoned, because he has sent his Son into the world to die for us, to show us how much he loves us.